So my name is Nneka Johnson. I am the Director of Innovation at the International School of Dakar in Senegal, West Africa. So my journey to leadership. It's funny when I think about my journey in leadership. I think about when I was born, right? Like I think about being born. I'm an immigrant. I was born in Guyana, South America. Grew up in New York. Moved to Atlanta, and you know, went to grad school here, and always thought in the back of my mind, you know what? I love technology. I want to be in a space where I can teach teachers technology. I remember when my first day of grad school, and it was my first day of internship, and there was a room of teachers, and someone was in front of them teaching them how to use something random, and I was just like, oh my God, I want to do that. And from that, everything I've done was to get me to that, right? So then in that time, I worked at Woodward Academy. It's the largest independent school in the continental US. And when I was there were 2,900 students. Right now, they're about 2,700. And I was like the lead instructional technology specialist. I had the K-12 purview. So I worked in elementary, I was in the IT department, I worked in the secondary school. But there was always a desire in me to live overseas. In 2007 and 2008, I visited, we had sister schools in Venezuela, visited them. I'm like, oh, I like this concept of living overseas. 2010, I was fortunate enough to do a 6-month stint in one of our sister schools in Sydney, Australia. I was their director of innovation, deputy director of innovation. So then during all that time, I'm like, you know what? I want to do this full time. I want to live overseas. I waited till my kids graduated school. And then my husband and I were like, okay, we're ready. I, interviewed for director of technology jobs overseas. So, when I interviewed for the job, I have experience with curriculum. I have a doctorate in curriculum and instruction. I attended the Stanford D School in design thinking. So I do design thinking workshops, all of those things. So my head of school changed the title from director of technology to director of innovation. So I tell people, I don't know if you would see it the right way. You can't see, it's dark. I tell people I applied for the director of technology position. And like Liam Neeson, I said, I have a very particular set of skills I've acquired over a long career. And then voila, he made me director of innovation. So I'm doing that right now. And within that, I'm also a part of the Association International Schools in Africa of the Professional Learning Design Team, where we plan professional learning. It's 8 of us total for international schools in Africa. I also volunteer with Google Chrome Accessibility. They're an arm of Google to provide feedback on software to help students and adults to manage learning differences. So that's something else I do. And my job as well, I also sit on the board of trustees as the faculty representative. So I'm able to understand school governance. I sit on committees, things like that. And do you see a trend here? I feel like I have to do everything. Like I love staying busy, right? So that's where I am right now. I love my job. I get to travel. I get to interact with people of different countries. My school has about 70 different nationalities. It's awesome.
I hope you enjoyed this peek into our brand new Women Who Lead program from Eduro Learning. My name is Kim Cafino, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Eduro Learning, as well as your host through the Women Who Lead program. Today, you heard from just one of our over 70 amazing women who lead. We'll be sharing more individual journey to leadership stories over the next few months. As a coach and a mentor to educators around the world, I've noticed a common theme. There are so many skilled, hardworking women in education who are curious about moving into leadership, but not quite ready to take that leap. A year ago, we started working on a special professional learning pathway to take that reluctance out of the equation. Our Women Who Lead program gives you access to the voices and experience of over 70 successful female leaders around the world. We have interviewed heads of school, curriculum directors, principals, and influential female leaders to provide a window into their personal leadership journeys so you can hear from them exactly what it's like to pursue this path. When have you had the opportunity to learn from over 70 amazing female leaders, including 20 female heads of school, in one consolidated learning experience? From one response to another, you'll hear their insight into the unique challenges facing female leaders, their advice on how to be successful in a leadership interview, and their guidance on how to have difficult conversations. Those are just some of the key topics discussed by the amazing female leaders we interviewed. With Women Who Lead, you gain access to curated conversations with inspirational leaders who have shared their experience with you at all levels of leadership within education, including consultancy and entrepreneurship. If you're ready to take the next step on your leadership journey, find out more at edurolearning.com/women.